Imagine a world where energy is limitless. A machine that defies the very laws of physics sounds incredible, right? Today, we're diving into the fascinating and elusive concept of the perpetual motion machine. Throughout history, this idea has captivated the minds of inventors, scientists, and even fraudsters. But what if this long-standing dream were to come true? How would it reshape our world and possibly even the universe? In 1812, an invention by a man named Charles Redheffer in Philadelphia, America, became the center of attention. The device, placed on a gear-like pedestal, used the force of gravity acting on a weight suspended in such a way that it would strike aslant, creating a horizontal force that would turn the gear and continuously supply power to the outside. He advertised this device as a perpetual motion machine and charged spectators to view it. Unfortunately, Redheffer was a fraud, and there was no such thing as a perpetual motion machine. Throughout history, humanity has harbored a special fascination with perpetual motion machines. Sometimes they have been the subject of academic research, at other times tools for fraud, and sometimes products of madness. The perpetual motion machine has appeared in various contexts throughout history. What would happen if this long-standing dream of humanity were realized? How would it reshape our world? In this article, we will explore what would happen if a perpetual motion machine were successfully created. You may have heard the term, perpetual motion machine, often, but in the realm of science, it has a precise definition. Before explaining that definition, we must clarify two terms, energy and work, which, contrary to popular belief, also have strict definitions in physics. In physics, work refers to the amount of force applied to an object and the distance it moves as a result of that force. A simple example would be the force required to lift a 2.2-pound object against gravity, which is about 9.8 newtons. If you lift that object by 3.28 feet, the amount of work you've done is 9.8 newtons times 3.28 feet, which equals about 32.2 joules. Energy, on the other hand, is the capacity to do work, and thus, like work, it is often expressed in joules. A perpetual motion machine is defined as a device that can perform work on the outside indefinitely without any external supply of energy. Unless both of these conditions are met simultaneously, it cannot be considered a perpetual motion machine. For example, wind power generates energy for external use by harnessing the natural power of the wind. However, since the wind on Earth ultimately derives from the energy of the sun, it cannot be considered a perpetual motion machine. Similarly, an object in space will continue to move indefinitely if it is not influenced by other forces or objects, but if energy is extracted from that movement. The speed of the object will slow down, preventing it from functioning perpetually. Perpetual motion machines have long been a human aspiration, and brilliant scientists have attempted to realize them. The famous Leonardo da Vinci was one such person, and it is known that he devised a plan for a perpetual motion machine using weights within the spokes of a wheel. In later eras, devices utilizing molecular vibrations or magnets were also conceived. But none have successfully created a perpetual motion machine, and it is believed that such a machine will never be developed. Why is a perpetual motion machine impossible? This is because such a machine would violate the first and second laws of thermodynamics, which form the foundation of modern physics. In short, the first law of thermodynamics states that the total amount of energy in the universe is constant, and energy can neither be created nor destroyed. The second law of thermodynamics states that heat always flows from a hotter object to a cooler one, and never the reverse. To achieve a perpetual motion machine would require overturning the physics that humanity has built up over thousands of years of research. Therefore, most claims of a genuine perpetual motion machine, like those of Redheffer mentioned at the beginning, are likely to be false. This explains why the development of a perpetual motion machine is impossible. However, what would happen if the development of a perpetual motion machine were successful? If such a machine existed, it could extract energy and perform work without the need for other energy sources. And with that energy, more perpetual motion machines could be built. What would this lead to? It would result in a device capable of producing unlimited energy without any fuel, completely transforming the world. Consider the problems humanity currently faces: water shortages, food shortages, resource depletion, environmental destruction, and global warming. These issues could be resolved if there were an inexhaustible supply of energy. Take water shortages, for example. To supply water to regions with scarce water resources, fresh water must be secured and transported to those areas. Currently, fresh water suitable for drinking is available only in limited places on Earth, but with abundant energy, the situation would be different. For example, it is possible to produce fresh water from seawater, but it requires a lot of energy. In a situation where energy is plentiful due to a perpetual motion machine, this would not be a significant hurdle. The same applies to transportation. As for resource shortages, there is a simple solution if there is an abundance of energy. For example, if you want gold, a representative precious metal, the only way to obtain it now is by mining and refining it from underground. Chemical reactions cannot change the elements themselves, so as medieval alchemists failed, creating gold from other substances is extremely difficult. However, it is not entirely impossible. For instance, by colliding the nuclei of carbon or neon atoms at high speed with elements like lead or bismuth, part of the protons or neutrons may be knocked off, resulting in the creation of gold with a certain probability. Of course, this process consumes a vast amount of time and energy, but for humanity, harnessing the power of a perpetual motion machine would make this a manageable challenge. With a perpetual motion machine, one can indeed gain godlike power. As a result, most of the problems that currently plague human society would be resolved. It would be wonderful if that were the end of the story, but is it really that simple? While perpetual motion machines are not the only sources of unlimited energy, similar effects can be achieved through nuclear fusion or solar panels in the Sahara Desert. However, the emergence of such a machine is in a league of its own. Earlier, I mentioned that the development of a perpetual motion machine would transform the world. But how would you feel if I told you it might change the entire universe? In our current universe, energy cannot be created from nothing, nor can it be destroyed, so the total amount of energy in the universe remains constant. However, the advent of a perpetual motion machine would allow us to create energy from nothing in this universe. And since matter and energy are equivalent, an increase in energy would mean an increase in the amount of matter in the universe. The future of the universe is thought to be determined by the tug-of-war between dark energy, which is accelerating the expansion of the universe, and gravity, which is trying to halt this expansion. The leading theory is a future called the Big Freeze, where the expansion of the universe never stops. But what would happen if a perpetual motion machine increased the total amount of matter in the universe, thereby increasing the influence of gravity? Although the effects might not be immediate, in a future tens of billions of years from now, gravity could overcome the force of expansion, causing the entire universe to contract, eventually leading to a state of infinite contraction returning to the state before the Big Bang. In this way, perpetual motion machines have the potential to change physics, the world, and even the future of the universe. That said, the likelihood of a true perpetual motion machine being developed is virtually zero. And history has shown that it has been a top-notch method of fraud. That wraps up our exploration of perpetual motion machines. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more insightful content. Take care and see you in the next video. Goodbye.